Hey everybody, I am streaming currently, um, going over some testimonies here. Currently, um, going over some, hope everybody's having a good Wednesday. It is a hump day. Testimonies here. Currently, it's been a weird week. Going over some, hope everybody's having a good Wednesday. It is a hump day. So here is Frank Turek.
Now, here's what Erica wants me to relate on Sunday. This is going to be the hard part, but maybe also the comforting part. Charlie Kirk was literally like a son to me. I have 3 sons. He was like my 4th son. My 3 sons are a little bit older than Charlie. He was like my 4th son. So when he was hit, if your son got hit, what would you do? What would you do? I got in the car. Because if there was any way I could save him, I had to do something. I couldn't just, okay, just take him. You guys got it. So they got him into the side of the car. It was an SUV. It was the SUV we took over. And I'm on one side, and there's actually some video of this. Somebody was taking video of this. I'm on one side of the car, the right side, and they're getting Charlie in. So I run over to the other side, but the guy who was dragging him in is now blocking that entrance. So at that point, I run around to the back. I pop the back gate open, and I jump in the back. The car lurches forward. Apparently somebody jumped in the car. So the car lurches forward. So I almost fall out of the car, or the SUV. Then I grab the thing and close it. And there's 5 of us in the car now. Justin is driving. Dan is up front with the GPS. Rick has got him. Rick's on my left, and Brian is there, and I'm coming over the back seat, and Charlie's laid out in front, just right in front of me. And Charlie's so tall, we can't close the door. We drove 4 miles, I don't know, it's 4 something miles, all the way to the hospital with the door open. To this day, I don't know how Brian stayed in the car, because we're just go, 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 go. We're trying to stop the bleeding. You saw it. And I'm yelling, come on, Charlie, come on, come on. Meanwhile, my phone is still on. My son and daughter-in-law are hearing this whole thing. And his security team, again, Justin, Dan, Brian, and Rick, they love Charlie. But they were much cooler than I mean, they're just carrying out, they're calmly, but they're swiftly doing exactly what they were trained to do. Rick starts praying out loud. I'm praying out loud. We're yelling, come on, let's go, let's go, let's go. My son's hearing all this. And we're doing the best we can to navigate traffic. This is not a highway. We're on surface streets. And suddenly there's an ambulance coming toward us. And there was conversation in the car. Should we stop? We're like, no, just keep going. Just keep going. The doctor later said that was the right thing to do. Ambulance goes by us. We're still heading to the hospital, trying to get there. At one point, somebody says, let's get there in one piece, because we're cutting through intersections. We're just beeping the horn. This is not a emergency vehicle. There's no lights. There's none of this. And I go, we got to start CPR. So I try and start that. Now, Charlie wasn't there. His eyes were fixed. He wasn't looking at me. He was looking past me right into eternity. He was with Jesus already. He was killed instantly and felt absolutely no pain. That's what I was told later. But of course, we had to try. And by the way, there was just nothing any of us could do about it. We were giving him CPR, but nothing was happening. It wasn't like if we had better first aid or we had better medical facilities or we were faster to the hospital, we could have saved him. We couldn't. So if that's any comfort at all, Charlie didn't suffer. He was gone. He was with Jesus, absent from the body, present with the Lord. That's where he was. Now, it is true, when we got to the hospital and they started working on him right away, they did get a pulse back. And so Rick and I were just, everyone's praying. We're just praying for a miracle. We had a small sliver of hope. And the doctor later said that we got a pulse because Charlie was a very healthy man, but the shot was catastrophic. So 20 or 30 minutes later, the surgeon came out and said he was dead.
Something that was shared about the bullets and God, I haven't even met Charlie yet. I'm still so freaking torn up. This is
out there, but we have absolute 100% definitive proof. A lot of conspiracy theories out there, but we have absolute 100% definitive proof that Charlie Kirk was hit from the front. There was no
so the conspiracy theory that's going on right now, that there was multiple shooters, that he was shot in the neck, but apparently he was wearing a vest underneath his shirt. It was like a low profile vest. When I watched the video, I thought he got shot in the chest as well, because you could see that in the video that you saw, like that his chest caved in, but then you also saw the blood coming out from his neck.
magic bullet. There was no second shooter. There was no side shot. There was no bullet flying through the air that somebody magically caught on a cell phone filming at 30 frames per second. We know that thanks to the bearded puck. He goes by @PuckBearded over on X. Check this out.
I'm gonna give you some credit. Do you know how many mass shooters there have been in America over the last 10 years?
Counting or not counting gang violence?
Great. That have been in America over the last 10 years.
Counting or not counting gang violence?
Great.
What you just watched there was Charlie Kirk get hit, and so much impact that his earpiece that he was wearing literally flies off backwards. Not to the side, not to the left, not to the right, but backwards because of the impact that he took to the chest. And that corroborates our reporting. On Monday, the 15th, we came forward with the source who had contacted me telling me that her friend's father...
I have a friend that is a Utah County Sheriff and has been a part of the investigation. The bullet severed his spine. He had a pulse, but it was more or less dead on impact. Jesus Christ. So it would have had been such a powerful shot that it took out his spine. God.
Was the surgeon who received Charlie Kirk at the hospital.
Yeah, someone I know is related to the surgeon that worked on him. He was wearing a bulletproof vest. They hit him for the heart, but it ricocheted up to the neck. That's why his chest caved in.
Hospital, and he was wearing a vest. We were the first one to report on the fact that his chest had been caved in where the bullet hit him in the chest. It had ricocheted up into his neck. Then today, just a few hours ago.
Yeah, he was wearing a bulletproof vest. I know because I live in Orem, Utah, and someone I know is related to this.
I got confirmation from now a second source who is friends with somebody who worked at the county sheriff's office who told us that Charlie Kirk's spine was severed. Now this also confirms the reporting that we put out from a gentleman over on YouTube. I'm going to leave his link down there below in the video and you guys can see it for yourself. So what we have here is exactly what we thought. The bullet came at him from the front. It was a high-powered round. It hit him in the chest, caved in the chest, and most likely because he was sitting forward and he was able to get pushed back by the bullet. and then it shot up into his neck, severed his spine. Most likely he was dead on impact. And the original report from this came from Gary Melton. I'll leave his YouTube and his Twitter right below. Everything that this man said, exactly to the T, is exactly what happened. And he called this before we had any of these sources or any of this confirmation or any additional evidence. He's a, I believe, Green Beret, so his training and his experience allowed him to see that, analyze it, and predict or call exactly what happened. Great work, brother. I know.
Yeah, so there's a lot of...
Rest in peace, my friend. Even though we are political adversaries and we didn't see eye to eye on a lot, I was super excited to see you waking up to what power Israel has over our country. And there was nobody that was going to make a bigger impact than Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk had the voice of the American youth. And he talked about any revolution, any type of regime change operation that our government's in. The most important part of that operation is the youth, and nobody had an ear of the youth more than Charlie Kirk. So I want to talk about frame rates, and I want to talk about resolution. So when we talk about slowing down clips, or people saying, hey, I watched this video, it's in AI, that both
bearded buck. Not posting a video out of respect, but from this video angle, you can clearly see his hook earpiece go flying behind him very fast. He's struck by something with great force. Should be put to rest any theories that he wasn't shot. That's great to hear. Trump is designating Antifa as terrorist organization. So that should divert a lot of the FBI's manpower to be able to really dive deep into these sick, dangerous, radical left disasters. Thank you, President Trump, for doing that. I also saw somewhere that they were able to download a ton of the Discord chats. So we should be seeing soon some of that stuff. Who's also playing Lion's Heart. Gary's Mod, Tom Clancy's, and Counter-Strike. So, working on his aim, apparently. Kind of interested in going deeper down that rabbit hole of the other things, but I don't know.
Married when I spoke at Blexit back in 2019, I think it was. Back then, you were talking to the universe. You were praying to the universe. And I remember telling you directly, I said, why don't you pray to the one that created the universe? And I was so excited when I began to see you dive into the Bible and get bold about your faith and talking about Jesus. To take in the wake of this tragedy to social media and project and tell the world that he was, after living a life devoted to Jesus and the Bible and the Christian faith, he always just talked about Christianity, and he talked about the Bible, and he talked about Jesus. But to then have you go on social media and post that you believed that he was converting to Catholicism, when he's not here to say whether he was or wasn't, but to interject that at a point when America and the world is reeling over his loss, to me, it's so off that I had to make this video. Anybody that is pointing someone that is hungry, which there are millions of people right now that are hungry for what Charlie had and what he carried, and for anybody to try to point those hungry people to something other than Jesus is not right. And it needs to be called out. Manipulation is a form of witchcraft. It's often associated with that because both involve exerting control or influence over others in ways that align with deception. Manipulation, when used to deceive or control others for selfish reasons, mirrors this religious spirit of rebellion. It's usurping God's authority. It's pointing to anything other than God himself, to Jesus himself. Manipulation, especially when it employs deceit, charm, or coercion. It's also linked to Jezebel. Jezebel in 1 Kings 21. She was all about coercion and charm to get people to follow her, not follow the king. Witchcraft is tied to idolatry, which is seeking power apart from God. Manipulation also often stems from a desire to play God, controlling outcomes for personal gain. It also reflects a prideful, idolatrous heart. I say all this in love, hoping that this will wake you up, Candace, and also wake up anybody that is having their eyes taken off of Jesus. So for those of you out there that are hungry for the Bible and hungry for the faith that Charlie had, please.
I don't understand the mob
After
of
Tucker Carlson and
people
Candace Owens.
that follow Candace Owens, like, religiously. I commented on a Candace Owens video and just said simply, go comfort Erica, stop what you're doing. And I just got swarmed by just comments of people saying she's not going to stop. This is something somebody's involved would say, or something, like trying to implicate me for Charlie's murder or something like that. It's just the die-hard Candace bots are crazy. But it just does not make sense that all these people are pointing to Israel when there's like no evidence whatsoever that Israel was involved. It's like the dude had a transgender woman who was a boy, so his boyfriend. He was on these Discord servers and Reddits, and he's clearly Antifa. So I don't know why they're going with this whole Israel thing, but when you see a red card, you only see red cards.
A source told me, and I would love to get this confirmed, I'm going to find this out, that $150 million was spent on that, and it came from Bibi Netanyahu. I would like to figure out if that's true. But anyways, obviously investigating this, and I'm not going to let it go, okay? You're not going to emotionally use some jujitsu, and I'm referring here to Roy or Rob McCoy, who says, I'm Charlie's pastor, and here's the truth, or whatever it is, to look the other way right now. okay? You're not going to tell me that I have to feel too bad to investigate who shot my friend in front of my face. So stop the nonsense. This is what Charlie's pastor passed around to all of the people that were intimidating Charlie leading up to his death. It's funny that Charlie's pastor couldn't find his voice when Bibi Netanyahu was lying about Charlie. Here's pastor. You know what he's saying are lies. No, he didn't find his voice saying anything about Bibi Netanyahu. Candace investigating things? Yeah, that's got to stop. Here's what he wrote, okay? What's his name? Rob McCoy. He wrote, Charlie Kirk was my friend and I was his pastor. I want to simply say this regarding Candace Owens. Charlie Kirk was a friend to Candace and never publicly spoke poorly of her, though he disagreed with her. He never operated nor entertained gossip or innuendo concerning Candace. My only comment I offer regarding Candace is this. I only wish at this tragic time of mourning, she would be the friend to Charlie Kirk that he was to her. He would never have treated Candace or her family in such a way had, God forbid, this tragedy been hers. A friend loves at all times, and he drops a biblical proverb. Now, let me say this, okay? I hope that Charlie would have been the sort of friend that I'm being, okay? He would have never, why? Why wouldn't Charlie Kirk have investigated if I had been killed and we were being so obviously lied to? I think you're wrong. I think you're wrong. I think Charlie was a real friend and he would not have dropped it.
What's really funny with this, first of all, Candace sounds like a psychopath. One. And two, if you're watching Patrick Bet-David, there's a clip of, I think it's Eric Baldwin, or he's one of the chairs at TP USA, and Candace and Charlie had a falling out. Like, they weren't on speaking terms, or they weren't Candace hadn't been invited to a TP USA event in many years. There's so many different speakers that come to these events. Candace has not been one of them. You talk about, even just being in the same room together, years. So I don't know. It seems like there was some type of falling out. It seems like, I don't know if Candace was such a close friend with Charlie, why wouldn't they be at TP USA, and why wouldn't they be doing everything they could to help? I mean, JD Vance hosted Charlie Kirk podcast. The Daily Wire hosted. Glenn Beck is hosting. He did that today. So, I mean, they have she could totally host Charlie's show, but doesn't seem like that's not in any cards for now. And I just feel so bad for these guys. It's like they're trying to mourn, they're trying to move on, and Candace keeps having to defend themselves from all these accusations that make literal no sense. This whole intervention that was in the Hamptons, there's creators coming out and giving their side of the story. They're posting text messages of what Charlie said. Bill Atkins, it's kind of embarrassing, really. I mean, the right should be focusing on Antifa and destroying them, yet they're saying it's Israel. It's really, really disheartening.
He would not have let it go, least of all because he was being emotionally manipulated by a guy who curiously kept his mouth shut when Bibi lied. You knew, if you were really his close friend and pastor, how he was feeling about Bibi Netanyahu. You knew, if you were his close friend and pastor, exactly the names of everybody who was intimidating him and how poorly they are misrepresenting the things that he believed. So why don't you focus on being more honest as a pastor and giving as much information as you can possibly provide so that we can continue this investigation. If you can't do this, I'm going to have to ask for your silence. Okay? Be quiet.
I mean, of course she's
Lastly, I wanna say-
heartbroken and she's dealing with a lot of things.
Is it for business purposes? It's obviously working. Her live stream was massive yesterday, bigger than
Yeah.
anybody else's that
Sure.
took place.
She has such
We
a
had a
huge
live stream that we
following.
did on election night. We hit 282, 283. I don't know what the number was. Google told us it was the biggest
million, I
in concurrent. She hit 266 yesterday by herself. Listen, the numbers are the numbers. But it doesn't mean it's the right message. Hit 'em Up, a rap song blew up. Does it mean it's a good song for everybody? Who listened to it? I'm trying to really see if you want to get eyeballs, go write a song called F the Police. Oh my God, look at the song. Look how great it did. Okay, yeah. Are you solving for eyeballs? Or are you solving to be a sinner just to bring America together at a time like this? I don't know. And by the way, I'd love to see the profile of people that are watching all of it. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I do know she was, she has you don't need to read between the lines to see how many times she takes shots at Ben Shapiro. I get it. I see it. Okay, you guys had a falling out at where you were at. And then it brings me to the last thing, which is by far the most important thing. You know what the most important thing to me is? It's the following. How does Erica feel about it? I don't know. By the way, if Candace and Erica are speaking every day, and she's saying, oh, thank you so much, Candace, for doing it. Please keep talking about it. Then awesome. I'm with it. Keep doing it. But if Erica is sitting there saying, dude, can you just stop for 1 week and make this about my husband's funeral that's coming up this Sunday? Just take a 1 week break. If Erica is supportive of everything Candace is doing, guess what? Awesome. Respect. And I don't know that. Maybe Erica and Candace are best of friends. By the way, full what's the word?
Full disclosure.
Full disclosure. I've never had a text phone call with Erica before. Only time I've said hi to Erica is when Charlie was there. And we've never spoken. So I've never had a conversation with her. She's always been very respectful, very sweet, and obviously her number one priority is God and her husband every single time. So if Candace and Erica are speaking, and Candace is saying, Erica's saying, Candace, thank you so much for defending my husband. Thank you so much for doing this. You're so amazing. Candace, double down. But I don't know if this was me and you're jumping on the numbers and all this stuff while this is taking place, and my wife is like, Vinny, can you not make this about you? Adam, can you stop? Can I have this moment with my husband? Can we not already start with all this stuff? Can we? Can we just pump the brakes a little bit? This is too much. You're not making my life any better right now. I'm trying to put an event together with 65,000 people in a place, and everybody who's coming in, their biggest fear is what? How is this place protected?
Yep.
How? Trump's going to be there. J.D. Vance is going to be there. Junior's going to be speaking. Tucker's going to be speaking. Miller's going to be speaking. Hexet's going to be speaking. RFK's going to be speaking. Tulsi's going to be speaking. His wife's going to be speaking. She's trying to overcome that while trying to continue getting the organization going and all the rumors. Who's going to run it? Who's going to replace Charlie? Who's going to do this? Do you know how much pressure is on her and her team? So to me, take all the talent and the relationship out. What it comes down to is, Candace, if this is improving the current emotional state Erica's at, keep at it. If it's not, take a few days off and start next Tuesday or Monday. Just let it be about Charlie. Let's not put it on anybody else right now that they're increasing the temperature. And I understand, the one thing with Candace is going to do what Candace is going to do.
Yep.
That's true.
She's not one that's going to be, it's Candace. Candace is going to do what Candace is going to do, and that's the double-edged sword.
So true. Well, guys, it was love to see this. Kimmel is getting canceled. It looks like he's trending as well. Canceled for falsely saying it was MAGA man who assassinated. Call that accountability continues. Keep working, everyone. Fire more. Jimmy just got rightly canceled. Nightstar Media Group Inc. today announces that the company is owned and partner television station affiliated with ABC television network would preempt fly for the foreseeable future, beginning with tonight's show, and it started strongly objects to recent comments made by Mr. Kimmel concerning the killing and replaced the show with some other programming in its ABC affiliated markets. What did he say exactly?
We hit some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from it. In between the finger pointing, there was grieving. On Friday, the White House flew the flags at half staff, which got some criticism. But on a human level, you can see how hard the president is taking this.
My condolences on the loss of your friend Charlie Kirk. May I ask, sir, personally, how are you holding up over the last day and a half, sir?
I think very good. And by the way, right there, you see all the trucks? They've just started construction of the new ballroom for the White House, which is something they've been trying to get, as you know, for about 150 years. And it's going to be a beauty.
Yes. He's at the fourth stage of grief, construction. Demolition, construction. This is not how an adult grieves the murder of someone he called a friend. This is how a 4-year-old mourns a goldfish, okay?
I think Trump did that because he didn't want to get emotional. But what do I know? Maybe he's a crazy person, doesn't have emotions. All right, people, it's getting late. Gonna call it there. But appreciate you coming out and joining the stream, and hope you have a good night. Peace out.